ठीक है. So in this presentation, basically, first we're going to just know what about all about music, and it says it starts from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you guys should please keep that in mind. We will see everything from how the layout is, how all the events are going to be organized, how do you navigate the app, what research you need to do, everything that is super important. So please uh, really focus on this. Take notes as much as you want. Keep your doubts ready. Okay, let's begin. So I think everybody kind of has an idea what All About Music is. Basically, it's just like India's largest music conference. It's not just any other networking event, or is something that you guys should take lightly. This is a very important event, and you guys are representing Law Stories Academy as its students and alumni. So just make sure you have an idea. Now, one thing I will always say about this is all the information on this presentation is up till whatever in the last 1 hour was on All About Music ke Instagram. Okay, so keep checking their Instagram for updates for the next coming days until the day of the event and even during the event as well. Just you should know the theme for the event is transitions. Basically, it's everything to do with how technology, AI, and all these things are helping transition the music industry. Obviously, this link is given here. You guys will get the access to this PowerPoint presentation a little bit later, uh, maybe after the meeting or maybe tomorrow, with a little more updated information. But just something that you should keep in mind. Okay. Yeah, all these links will be available. So yeah, just the three things you need to know. They have a link tree, they have their Instagram and their website. So just make sure at least on one of them. I prefer the Instagram and also their app. That's something that you guys should really stay updated with. Okay. Now, this is important to note. The categories at All About Music, right? So you have curators, partners, speakers, jury, and then there is a connect corner, right? The important thing to note here is I'm going to explain each one of them. So curators are basically the people that organize the event, that are in charge of all of the All About Music event, who's going to speak, who's going to be where, all of that. I've highlighted the ones that are important to us. That is something you should know. Partners are all the basically brands that are working with us. So like Law Stories Academy is an educational partner. You have IPRS, you have a bunch of other partners as well, right? Speakers is important. So basically all the discussions that are going to be taking place at All About Music, all the speaking events, all the workshops, all the discussions, this is something that is very important to us. Now there's another thing called as the jury. So jury is basically the team of people, basically 5 to 6 people, that is in charge of those who are artists, who have artist passes and who submitted their demos. The jury is going to be selecting and shortlisting demos out of that. The results have not been announced yet, and how it's going to be go about it, we will keep you updated on that. Also keep checking their Instagram for the same. But jury is exactly that. So if you go on All About Music's Instagram, you will find a few posts where the jury is already selected and who the people are in the jury. They are very important people, so you should be aware who they are. So please have a look at that after this meeting. Okay. And then there is Connect Corner, basically the most important part in my opinion, because of the networking that takes place at the event, and primarily something that you should really research and really focus on. Your entire next week is going to be extremely busy, and this is super important. Just something to preface with. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more about the speaking sessions. So you'll have speaking sessions can include people such as artists. So you have, if I'm not wrong, Shreya Ghoshal, MC Stan. Last year we had Badsha, Ritviz. So there's a Nuclear is also going to be here this time. So there's a bunch of artist sessions that will be there. So you need to know their journey, their insights, and not just artists, but it will also be label heads, people from Spotify India, YouTube Music, all these big companies and partner events that you need to be aware of. So panel discussions will take place. There'll be workshops. So I believe Says on the Beat from Seedhe Moth, he's going to be breaking down a few of the tracks. So that's also something that you guys can look out for. The thing about this speaking event is there's going to be a lot of speaking events happening simultaneously. So it is very important for you to pick and choose the ones that are valuable to you. I will tell you later on the app also, and when the schedule is fully there, how you need to go about it. But at any given point in time, there could be multiple rooms within the venue that will have different sessions going on. So it is important you decide whether you want to attend the speaking session of an artist, do you want to attend a beat breakdown, do you want to attend some panel discussion on how the royalties are split or something like that, right? Depending on what the topics are, we will go through that. And one very important thing is some of the speaking sessions could have a possible Q&A sessions where they will take questions from the crowd. It's not always like that. In some sessions it is. So it is very important to you that you prepare beforehand. If you have any doubts or if you have any such curiosity regarding it, please keep your questions related to the topic at hand. Do not ask unnecessary questions that are useless to everybody and to yourself. Just something to keep in mind, right? Especially if you're talking to an artist. uh, Amay, sir, you've raised your hand. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I was actually saying ki, like one more thing. There is an app for AAM as well, and you can download that. And you generally get updates, but the only problem is कि बहुत ज़्यादा load हो जाता है, तो फिर it becomes delayed. Like everything gets delayed a lot of times, and the app is not going to be in sync. But you can use the app to check कि who is speaking where and like which schedule basically क्या है उस दिन का. And another thing is the Connect Corner is not the only place where you would be meeting people. Connect Corners may generally there will be different tables. You will have to form a line and then talk to those people. But other than that, in the building within the premise also, you can actually interact with them in the lobby. There's a lot of people, a bunch of ANRs, bunch of label heads. They are in the lobby. Generally, they're waiting for people there also, such as you guys, such as producers. So you guys can, if you're in the lobby and you get an opportunity to talk to somebody, just go say hi, and, just
Right, right. My
interact.
bad. It's not limited to Connect Corner. Obviously, you are free to network throughout the event. Whenever you see
Yes.
somebody that you want to connect with, please do so. That's really important. And yes, the app also, I have put a link on this presentation, so you guys will get the link to it, so you guys can download it. But it's way more smoother than last year's app. Last year's app was pretty trash, so it should be fine. But yeah, we will look into it later how to go about the app as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Moving on, the super important thing, which is Connect Corner. Okay, the Connect Corner is basically, if I were to explain it simply, basically there will be a table, there will be multiple tables inside a really massive hall, and you would, I'll say, 25 to 30 tables at any given time slot. May on one end will be the representative. This could be the CEO of a big management company, or the A&R head of a record label, or someone from a sync licensing company. So, and on the other hand, you have the opportunity to basically speak with them. Now, keep in mind there are many people who want to speak to that person. So, it is extremely important to you that you do your research beforehand. And also, when you are speaking to that person, do not spend more than 7 to 10 minutes with each individual. Just, because you have to be considerate of your own time also, because you have to meet with a bunch of people and you have to be considerate of everybody else that is also over there, right? So first things first, yeah. So you will have maybe 2 to 3. This the app I checked, it has maybe 3 slots right now. So this is not completely accurate, but 2 to 3 Connect Corner slots will happen on each day. So there are 3 days, so at least 6 to 9 slots, I'm assuming. So each slot mostly is, it's not necessary, but most of them have like a theme or sort of thing, a department sort of thing. You can say a different domain that is usually followed. So you could say, let's say on day one from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., it's all record labels and music distributors. So totally depends on who is going to be there. You have to check the app to know who is going to be in that particular slot so that you can shortlist and fix your time. Because if you do not do your research, you will end up spending 2 hours just researching who to speak to, because you don't know who that person is, from where he is. And this is super important. People waste a lot of time on this. So please do your research in this 1 week before AM starts, so that you know exactly do you want to meet, because there are 30 people in a given 2 hours time slot, let's assume. Probably 5 people out of that might be relevant to you, because you might want to be only an independent artist. So major record labels are something that you're not looking for. If you have the free time after meeting the people that are on your priority list, that who you want to connect with, then obviously you can go interact with whoever else you want to. But this will only be possible once you do your research. If you do not do it, this is going to be extremely problematic and a waste of time for you. So please look into this. I cannot stress this enough. Okay. And Yeah, just let's see, let's go ahead. One of the things also for networking, this is super important. There is also a link at the end of this presentation that I will let you know. But when you are speaking to the representative, if they ask for a contact from your side, you should have something ready to give to them. Could be your Instagram, could be your phone number, email ID, whatever. But more than that, usually it happens that they give you a point of contact. So it could be their email address for demo drop, or a phone number, something that you need to follow up with them on a later basis. Could be after AM, mostly after AM, just 1 or 2 days later, you have to follow up. This is primarily for people who are going to pitch musics, or who are going to be artists. Even students can definitely do that if they have demos ready, but primarily it's what artists do. Also, if you are going to be pitching your song as an artist, ideally, please have some, like, previously it used to be pen drives where people would have the demos and ready with them, and along with that, a Word file or a PDF file with all the contact information, all the links available. This is one way that you can go about it. Or the other option is, if the person is willing to listen to the music right there and there, then you have those songs arranged in your downloads folder, and have all those songs ready for the person to listen to, name them correctly. All the metadata should be correct for it, and just make sure that they can hear it right away. That is if they are interested, because you will be speaking to a lot of people and networking with a lot of people throughout the event. So you never know who might be interested in listening to it right then and there, right? Yeah, if you're using a pen drive, please make sure that the demos are there, organized correctly. Don't have like just weird random rename names of your files. Please organize everything. And yeah, yes, please have a contact info, because otherwise if you give somebody your pen drive and then there is no contact info, it's completely useless. They may love all your demos, but then they have no way of contacting you, right? There is also another option that when you do get their email address and then you have to reach out to them later, please have your SoundCloud links ready. And it would be better if you have use a custom bit.ly link, bit.ly. You guys can check this out, bit.ly.com basically, but you guys are aware of these link shorteners. And this will be better so that you will be able to track your links, who is clicking them, and if you want to customize it and send it to them. This is really important, really efficient. So please also have that ready on the go in case somebody asks for it. They could ask for it right then and there itself, or they could ask for it later as well, or you send them a mail but much later, a few days after the event is complete. But this is super important, right? Okay, now let's move on to, okay, I'm going to go through an example. So basically what I kept stressing on was the research part, right? So first we're going to go through one example of, if you are a student ticket holder, this could be a scenario, and let's see what exactly do you have to do, right? So the aim basically of, let's say, you have to figure out what your goals are, right? You cannot just go into this event completely blank, not knowing why you are there. You have to know your why. Like, what is it that I want to get out of this? Do I want to get advice? Do I not have clarity on how I want to go for the next year or a few years of my life in the music industry? So do I want some clarity on that? Do I have demos ready that I want to pitch to them, or do I want to understand how sync licensing works a little better, and how can I benefit from it, or what can I do about it? Like, you have to have that clarity, because otherwise, what's the point of being at all about music if you don't know what you want out of it? You're just going to be spending time probably just roaming around the event because it's a five-star hotel and everything's all looking nice and stuff. But please, you have to stay focused at what it is that you want out of it, right? Okay, so let's go through this example first. We will go through another example for artists in the next slide. So this is, let's say the student eventually wants to become an independent artist and is researching slash looking for music distributors, marketing agencies that can help market and increase the reach of the track when chosen to release. So he's not looking for a label, but just wants to be an independent artist, right? So the shortlist, the shortlist that I've done here, this is an example. Do not just use this example. Please do your own research. Like I've mentioned down as well, that the list has to be created after thorough research on companies that are represented by the individual, right? So you have to, we will look into the Instagram post and all the people at the Connect Corners that you have to research. So from Instagram post, there is a whole slide where you have all these people there. There are way more people than this. So this is a shortlist that I have created, that on my priority list, I want to meet these 5 people for the goals that I have. So like, I want to meet Hiya Gupta from Madverse. If you guys attended the Madverse workshop that we had about a month back, then you guys would know. Similarly, then I want to meet Sandesh Jha from MQ for marketing purposes. Then I want to meet the founder of All by Play. Then I want to meet Aurora Collective. So this way, you are way more organized and way more streamlined to your approach for the Connect Corner. Otherwise, you will go in blank and you won't know. And like for me, if this is my priority list, this is because I have already researched what Madverse does. That's why I know that I want to meet Madverse, because their website and everything that they stood for is something that really suits my aim. Similarly, when I see Mcube and how they go about their marketing strategies for music, that is something that really interests me. That is why I have chosen them on second priority. Similarly, All by Play, Aurora Collective, and then Rolling Stone India for marketing purposes. It's only because I have researched enough about this. It's not just a random order, that just because these are the people in that time slot, I'm just going to randomly pick and choose out of this. You have to be really specific and exact with who you are choosing. Why is this person first on your priority order? There has to be a reason, right? You have to have this clarity in your head when you're doing something like this. Also, very important thing to note, when you have this priority list created, it is very important you are also having a list of questions that you want to ask. This is better if it is more directed towards what kind of work they do. Let's say you have a question that is customized to Madverse. So it could be, you go up to Hiya Gupta during Connect Corner and you ask her that, I saw the Madverse subscription model and I prefer the more premium tier. What could be the benefits in terms of playlisting, and what is the approach behind that? This could be a very specific question, but this is only important to Madverse. And the only way you can ask a question like this is if you have prepared in advance and shortlisted your questions. If you do not do that, this is going to be just you going up to all five of these priority people and asking the same question, that how can you help me as an independent artist? That is a very broad and very generic question, and that does not solve your problem. That still leaves you in a very confused manner. That is why please keep your question specific, and please keep your shortlist as well researched as possible. This is super important. Okay. Well, we will go through questions later. If anyone has any doubts, just we will ask them later after the presentation is over. So keep that to the end. Okay. We are now moving on to the next part. This is going to be for the artists, right? Let's go for the artists example. The aim, let's say over here, is you are an intermediate established artist. You have a bunch of music that has already been released. You have done a few shows here and there, but you have done this completely independently on your own, and you are really not sure how to go about it further. And there's a lot of admin work that you have been doing right now when you are not getting enough time to do the creative work that you're supposed to, right? So how do you go about this? So in the intermediate established artist is looking for a management agency to help with the artist's trajectory and future growth. Basically, what a management agency does is help you reach to the next level a bit faster, right? And the only way to know about this is, even for students, that if you want to understand what management agencies do, you have to research about the management agencies that are going to be there and have your questions ready accordingly. That what is it like? I'll give you my example, that this person Dev Bhatia, he's the CEO of Big Bad Wolf, Pratik Kuhad is signed to. And I asked him last year, because I went as a student. So I asked him a very simple question because I wanted more clarity. I asked him that what is it that a management is looking for when signing an artist? Like, what is something that you really keep in mind? And the pointers that he gave and the answers that he gave were really helpful. And I chose to speak with him also because I had researched about the kind of clientele they have, because it's not just related to like Pratik Wad or independent artists, but they also have a bunch of DJs lined up as well, which is something that's important to me. So same goes over here as well, that you have to shortlist based on your priority. You have to research about all the artist managing events, companies, the booking agencies, management agencies, and you have to then shortlist accordingly, right? And you also have to keep your questions ready. Same goes over here. So you can see how I have shortlisted them over here. All of the names are given over here exactly. So please have this list on you. You want to create a physical sheet of paper, for take a notebook with you. Do you want to write it in your phone? I don't care where you do it, but please make sure you organize this. I cannot stress this enough. Otherwise, the Connect Corner is going to be a complete waste of your time, and you won't even feel like attending after day one because it will be so overwhelming. All of this becomes extremely overwhelming if you do not prepare. I cannot stress this enough. So please prepare as much as possible. Okay. So yeah, these Instagram links. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen separately. So I'm going to open one of these Instagram links so that you guys can understand what exactly I am talking about. So on the available app, on the AMM app as well, it will be available. This is APP. Sorry about that. Right. So on my screen right now, you can see over here, this is the All About Music Instagram. I'm just going to refresh this again so that let's see if there is anything more. Yes. So on the AM app, yes, the link is also available on the app, so you can check it out later. But see, this is what I was talking about, the Connect Corner. At the Connect Corner, you will have a bunch of people. So this is one of all those 8 Instagram posts that I mentioned on the slide. This is one of them. So you have these people here, and it clearly states their name, what their designation is, and which company are they working in, and they are tagged as well. So you can check them out as well. Your main motive is to check out the company and not the person, so that you know exactly what they're doing. So please do your Google research. Please go into this as important. It's super important that you guys do so, right? So you have a bunch of people, and this is one of them. So if you let's close this. If we go a little further, um, this is the jury. Like I mentioned initially, the jury. So this is a jury for pitch to the record labels, like the artists who will be submitting. So you have Sunny MR, who's going to be moderating the entire this thing, but you have the A&R from Tips Music, head of A&R from Warner Music, like really important people. So it's not that you cannot just forget about this. This is also really important. Please know their names to some extent, know their faces, do a bit of research on this as well. But most importantly, definitely, I'll say is Connect Corner. See another post on Connect Corner. Right here, there are more people who are also going to be representing over here. So it's very important that you do your research thoroughly on all of this. See, there's another post right there, right? Right. So that is exactly what I'm mentioning, that these are all the Instagram posts listed here of all the Connect Corners that have been posted on the AM Instagram so far. There may be more posted in the coming days. We're not sure, but please keep checking the AM Instagram. This slide is updated only till the last 1 hour, whatever the latest post was, just to preface. Okay. Moving forward. Okay, now we're going to talk about the layout and the schedule, basically how All About Music is. If no one has, if anyone here who hasn't been before, just something that you should keep in mind. So at any given point in time, so you have, when you enter the venue, which is Grand Hyatt, there will be multiple ballrooms, multiple different rooms, different areas where you will have speaking sessions and panel discussions going on, like I had mentioned before. Right, so it's very important you choose which session to go to. Always try to arrive 5 to 10 minutes early to that session, because there are going to be almost 2000 to 3000 people at the venue. So you might not get seating if you arrive late, or you just enter one of the speaking sessions midway. All the seats will be completely booked, and mostly there are multiple sessions that a lot of people want to definitely listen to. So it's extremely important that you do your research, are well prepared when you want to go to which one, and some of them overlap as well. So it's very important that you plan your speaking sessions accordingly. As for the Connect Corner, there's going to be a large hall which is going to be separate from these ballroom areas, where you will have all those tables and chairs kept for connecting during the Connect Corners. Ideally, I will say, when you guys arrive at the venue, the first things first is, please understand where every room is. Where is ballroom 1? Where is ballroom 2? Where is room 3? Where is the main large hall for the Connect Corner? Where is the area? Because next to the Connect Corner, there's also going to be the stage at the evening around, I think, 6 p.m. or so. That's when the all the networking stops, and it's not necessarily stops, but officially there are no more speaker sessions scheduled and stuff. And that's when you have the showcase and the artist concert display going on. So that's also there for everyone to enjoy. But ideally, you should please keep in mind what the layout is. Please do focus on that. So once you enter there, arrive early so that you have an idea where everything is, so that you do not waste time finding where to go, and you don't exactly know what to do, right? Please, something to keep in mind. Yes, and like I mentioned, keep referring the All About Music Instagram, their app, and there will be a bunch of display screens available just to show which session is going on in which room right now. So please keep yourself up to date with the announcements. Be aware of what is going on around you. And this is also besides all the research and everything that you will be doing and all the questions. So it is going to be extremely busy. You guys can already tell how busy AM is going to be for you guys. But the being busy is good over here, because you get to extract the most amount of value out of this huge networking event, right? And also kept the Google Play and the Android store and the App Store links over here, so you guys can definitely click here or go to their Instagram and just download the app from there as well, right? Yes, and also the AM team mentioned to us that the full schedule of this All About Music will be available by Monday evening on the app. Till then, use like the Instagram link shown before. You have the list of all the people, so it's better that you guys do your research accordingly. If you guys have any doubts, even later on, tomorrow, later on, you guys can definitely write them on the LSA students group. You guys can definitely speak to one of the faculties. Reach out to the LSA team if you have any doubts in general. We're always there to help you out. Okay. Yes. Now I just want to go a little bit over the app. These are screenshots, so obviously it wouldn't make sense to anybody who's not in this meeting right now. But this on the left hand side, this is basically your homepage where everything is available. Now you have the main schedule over here where every single session is going to be seen, right? The all sessions over here. This all session is basically this schedule over here. So see, like I said, main ballroom 1, main ballroom 2. There's probably a main ballroom 3. More days have been added now as the app is being updated, so you can definitely see that. So there's a keynote happening here, there's keynote happening afterwards, right? This is the list where you can see all the speakers that are going to be attending. So you guys can definitely have a look who all the speakers are, who all the sponsors are, anything else if you want to know where the place is located and all that. We will go into a bunch of other things later on. Let's move on to the connect corner. So when you click the connect corner over here, you enter in this window right here in the middle. So you have see like day one right now they have mentioned that these are the 3 slots that will be available at connect corner. But you can click either one of these slots and then press next, and that is how you will find out that exactly who will be available in that slot of the connect corner. So your priority order should also be keep in mind where who is available at what time, because if you end up missing that slot by not arriving early, then it creates a problem. And by the way, this is just a rough thing right now. It says 9 to 9:30. That's not, the event starts at 10 a.m. So don't worry about that right now. But yeah, please make sure you thoroughly research the connect corner, what exactly is going to happen over there, right? One more thing to note here in the schedules one, on this second one from the left, there is also a star mark option over here. So basically what this star mark option does is that right here in the bottom you can see there is this thing called as my schedule. It also says over here on this page, this image right here, my schedule. Basically you can shortlist all your events that you want to, all the speaking events that you wish to attend. You can just star mark them over here, because there will be way too many events. You will not be able to cover all of them for sure. There will be some of them that may not interest you or they may not be of relevance to you. That is exactly why you need to star mark and have your shortlist ready also. This is what will happen the next few days as you do your research, as you decide what it is that you want to attend, right? Okay. Then one final thing, there is this next to the menu, there is this attendee section over here. So you have, when you see this attendee section, it says all people, delegates, artists, and students, right? So this is kind of like the social networking platform. You can message people over here, you can definitely reach out to them. Ideally most people networks differently, like they go on Instagram and stuff, but if there is somebody here also that you want to network with, if you forgot to you just remember their name but you didn't get any contact info, if they have the AM app installed with them, then you have a chance to connect with them. There's something to keep in mind. But this is just kind of an overall layout. It keeps getting updated, so please keep your notifications on, keep your sound on, keep everything ready so that you go through this app thoroughly and make the most out of it, right? Cool. Moving on. Okay. Now, since you guys are representing LSA, this is kind of important and it's a no-brainer for us to speak about it. But uh, this is not just any random event. I keep stressing that. So please make sure you guys are your best selves over there. It's pretty easy to be your best self at such an important event. So please, I just have to write this over here so that you guys are aware about it. Please dress appropriately. Don't just go lazily, just wearing shorts and stuff. Please, you are an artist or a student who's going to be an artist in the future. So please take care of that. Yes, and because yes, the venue is Grand Hyatt Mumbai, a lot of people just end up venturing into other areas of the premises. I will strictly say, please do not do that. Please stick to the premises that are assigned for AM. Do not just venture out randomly. And the thing is, please research beforehand. Like I mentioned, for the connect corner, for the speaking sessions, keep your questions ready. Everything, because if you do not do that, you will seem unprepared, and that puts a bad name to not you but also the academy, that the students of Law Stories Academy have not done their research and a bunch of unprofessional people who have just shown up without really knowing what to ask, and they're just asking random baseless questions. I do not want this to happen because we have 45 people over here. expect everyone to please do your research beforehand, right? Like I mentioned, please be clear about your agenda and your strategy. If you're an artist, then what exactly is your pitch, your small 5-minute pitch, how you want to tell you about yourself, that you have a bunch of monthly listeners, or you have performed here, you have collaborated with certain individuals, you have been on these playlists. What is it that you are exactly pitching? What kind of music do you make? That should be there in a small pitch in 5 minutes. Or your questions as a student, like what exactly questions do you want to ask? Everything should be prepared, because you have to showcase yourself as smart individuals who are really looking forward to being a part of the music industry. Please do not take this lightly, right? I know it shouldn't be that much of an issue, but it is very important for us to remind you that you have to follow this code of conduct when you are representing Lost Stories Academy anywhere, not just All About Music, but for All About Music also, it's extremely important. Okay, right. So we have seen so far quite a lot of stuff. Just this is a small final summaries kind of place that you guys can see. So what exactly is it that you guys need to prepare if you are a student or an artist? So basically your goals slash aims slash things you want to achieve out of AM, like I mentioned, your research and everything that you're going to do is totally dependent on what your goals are going into this networking event. What is it that you want to achieve out of it? So please keep that in mind. Then if you are going to be an artist or a student, is it going to be your pitch, or is it going to be the questions that you ask? That is something that you also need to prepare about. If you are pitching your music over there, whether an artist or student, and if you have demos ready, then you have to make sure you have your demos and your contact info ready, either in your phone or on your pen drive. Just please make sure you have this ready, or you also should have your Bitly links available if you want to contact them later as well. Please make sure to get their contact info once networking, right? Do not be shy from networking is what this event is about, so please keep that in mind. Another thing is, please download the AM app. Please go through it thoroughly. If you do not do that, then this is going to be extremely problematic for you. Create a priority list for all the representatives that you wish to meet at the Connect Corner. We have already discussed that. You have to go about it very systematically. If you do not do that, then like I mentioned, then you just be shooting in the dark, right? And finally, please make a list of and shortlist the speaking sessions, that discussions slash workshops that you wish to attend at All About Music. What exactly is it that you want to gain the most value out of when you're sitting there and not networking, but just trying to gain a lot of insights, right? This may obviously change when you're at the venue, you are at a speaking event, and then you realize that this is not something that might interest you. That is also very possible. But please do have your preparation ready, shortlist them beforehand. Okay. Yeah. So there are these two sources. One is, how do you network and pitch to industry professionals? I will share this PPT with you guys, so you guys can check these Instagram links out. They're hyperlinked over here, so just go check them out. All About Music, basically on their Instagram, they posted these two. One is, how do you network and pitch to industry professionals? Basically, how, if you're going to pitch to them, what is something you should keep in mind? If you have never pitched to anyone before, how do you go about it? How do you not just aimlessly start asking things, but you have a proper structure in mind, right? So please refer to that post over here. And then in general, as an artist, what could be your goals when you're navigating in the music industry? What exactly that you have to keep in mind? That is also, link is provided over here, so you guys can definitely check that out as well if you want to gain some clarity. Not just artists, but even students who want to pursue further, they should have a basic idea of what it is that is required of you when you do venture into the music industry, right? Okay. Yes, and another small thing, because we are in touch with the All About Music team, they have given a few suggestions and few things that you should keep in mind on day one, because the event starts from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So please, it's advisable. They've said to be there by 8:30, 9 a.m., 9:15, 9:30. I'll say that 8:30 seems too early even for me. But my point is, please arrive early at the venue, because there will be at least 2,000 to 3,000 people over here. And if you do not have your passes, then you will be waiting in line beyond 10, 10, 15, 10:30, while the first speaking session or the first Connect Corner may have already started. And this is not good for you, because that first Connect Corner or speaking session might be extremely important to you, but you ended up missing on it because you didn't arrive at time. So please, thoda jaldi ut jao. Please go to sleep early. uh, please take care of yourselves and arrive on time. Okay. Arjit, we will go through questions a little bit later. Just keep your hand down. I will tell you when you guys can definitely ask questions. Um, Okay. On day two, they mentioned from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. on the Connect Corner, you will have a lot of representatives available from American Association of Independent Music. So if you wish to target the American market and you want to be an independent musician as well, that is something that you need to keep in mind. On day two, this is 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. the Connect Corner slot, and also across all 3 days from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Connect Corner, you will have a lot of representatives from Czech Republic, and they are looking to expand a little bit further into the music. And so if that is something you want to explore, or at least if even if you're not interested in signing with somebody who's from Czech Republic, or just you are not interested in that market, it is completely okay to at least get some research about it, that what is it exactly that they are offering, what is it that they can help you with, because the European market is something that is extremely important for a lot of electronic music producers. So that is something you guys should definitely check it out. And last but not least, please keep checking the All About Music Instagram and their app for all the updates. Right, this is something from the All About Music team. Cool. That concludes the presentation. I will share this with you guys afterwards, uh, later. Now we are going to go with questions. So you guys can ask your questions in the chat. Someone can respond there as well on chat itself, or you guys can raise your hand if you have an audio question as well, and I will unmute you guys. And Amesh sir, is Sankit also here? Let me just check.
So when does the event start?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. on 7th September.
Okay.
So please arrive there at 9 a.m., a little earlier, just so that you get your passes, because everyone has to collect their passes. You have to show your QR code and collect your passes. So please arrive early, otherwise you'll miss out on the events that start itself, because there's going to be a lot of people over there.
So
Cool. Anybody else? Does
day
anybody else
one
have?
को generally this
Yeah,
happened
sorry.
last year also. Even if you have an online pass, you have to stand in the counter, get like a official badge, and they'll give you
Yes.
like a notebook and stuff also, like goodies.
Yeah.
Basically, you should come early because वो process को time लगता है. And if you guys had been to Palm, you guys know what happened at Palm. So इधर hopefully ऐसा नहीं होगा. यहाँ पे थोड़ा civilized crowd आता है, but like you never know. So just come a little early.
Right.
Abhijit.
Okay. Abhijit, 1 second. Yeah, let me unmute you. Uh,
Hi, Vedant.
Hi, Abhijit.
Thank you for the presentation. Actually, I have a question regarding the if for an example, if somehow I not able to attend the first day of the session,
Yeah.
first day of the event, and I directly go on the second day. So will I be able to get the pass, or on the first day itself I have to get the pass for all 3 days?
नहीं, you
I
can get a pass on second day also.
Yeah, that's not an
You just have to reach there early. So there should be like a couple of counters. Last year they had set up counters in the arena. It was in Tajlands.
right.
इस साल they'll have like a separate counter. Let's hope that it's all 3 days, but generally होता तो है. But बस सुबह के टाइम पे होता है, जैसे कनेक्ट कॉर्नर स्टार्ट होता है तो they stop with the registration and giving out
Okay,
the
if I
passes.
go on the second day directly, so will I get a pass?
Yeah, just reach early.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah, pass का
Thank
issue होना चाहिए. And for those of you who you receive their passes on the first day, please do not lose them. That is like the worst thing. Please take care of your passes, because they are valid for all 3 days. Or whenever you receive your pass, just make sure you guys take care of them.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Okay, so there's a question in the chat. Basically, one question is from Ashish. He's asking, as a producer and DJ, how can we really make an impact and a good impression in the 5 minute conversation, or like when we are pitching to an A&R or the label or a promoter of a big venue? Like, how do you do like an elevator pitch? What is something that they should keep in mind?
See, whenever you're gonna approach anyone, right, they're gonna ask you like, why are you an interesting person, right? Like, in general, if I were to approach somebody, they'd ask me, right, like, who am I? Like, what's good about me? So you basically have to start introducing yourself, like who you are. If you have released something, you can tell them your achievements. Like, this is what I have released so far. Like, I've uh, got these many views. I've got like released through these many labels. I've performed in these places. So if you have that sort of cred, then you should start with that. If not, then I'd suggest like talk about yourself. Talk about try to condense why you do this, who you are as an artist, what kind of music do you like to make, and what are your plans in the near future. Like if you have planned to release anything, because if you haven't planned on releasing anything and you're simply going there to just talk to people, then it's of no use. You have to basically give them, like, like say I'm approaching a record label, I'm approaching an A&R, right? And they'll ask you like, acha, theek hai, you're an independent producer, so have you released anything? If you have released something, then you tell them, I have released this much and I'm planning to release this much this year, right? If you haven't released anything, then you at least give them an idea, like, I have this much content ready and I want to release this in these many months. Like you give them at least a 4 to 6 month, if possible, pura. You can tell them ki, like, saal bhar mein mere ko itna release karne ka. You don't have to like give them the specifics of like what all stuff you want to release, but you should tell them ki, like, this is my plan, this is an album I want to create, and I want to release an album this year, or I want to release these many singles this year. And along with that, you basically give them an idea ki, this is how I'm planning on growing my audience. I'm trying to find my niche, I'm trying to find my niche, and build a community. Now these people are there because they want to find people like that, people who understand ki, how social media works, how you can do good on your own. If they figure that out, right, like if in those 5 minutes of talking to you, they'll definitely ask you like, acha, theek hai, then why are you here? So you can tell them ki, like, this is what I have sought out for myself so far, right? You tell them ki, like, I'm a producer, I'm good at producing, I can mix, I can do all this sort of stuff. But then there might be something that you're lacking, right? You might not know how to one up yourself, or like find a better reach. You may not have means to get into popular playlists, so you tell them that. But before you tell them that, you have to be clear कि like, ये देखो मेरे पास इतना है, this is my worth, right? This is what I have defined my target for this year, and I need help with this. Now if the other person can provide you with that help, they can basically, that's why you make a deal with a label, right? Or say a distributor is going to help you get your music into playlists and the sort of stuff. If they're publishers, they can help you with even more stuff, right? So try to first figure out कि like मुझे ये चाहिए. Try to condense everything, like condense yourself in like that 5 minutes, your achievements, your targets, your goals, everything. And then you basically just tell them like, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to find a way to increase my reach. I'm here to collaborate with people. I'm here to find labels. I'm here to find management, jo bhi, whatever your goal is. And then the other person will basically tell you how they could be of any help to you. That's how you begin negotiating a deal. So that's it. And like the point there is again going to be like talking to them like 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Like every person के साथ में 5 10 मिनट बात करने को मिलेगा. Just exchange information. That's all you have to do. Exchange your cards. If you have a card, if you have, if you want to share a pen drive also, you can do that. But yeah, the idea is to continue this conversation later on after the event is finished, because neither you nor the other person is going to be in that sort of a mindset. The other person also wants to talk to like 100 other people, and so would you, right? You'd want to explore all the opportunities you have there, right? So try not to like try mingling a little bit, talking to a lot of different kinds of people, and finding out how the market is basically.
Right.
Anything you want to add?
No, I think that point was pretty valid. Ki you have to keep in mind of your time as well because of who else you're meeting, and you have to also keep in mind other people's time as well because everyone has that agenda on their mind. But that's only because they've well researched and they know who they want to speak with. Right. We also have Prayag sir in the meeting. So Prayag sir, I made you co-host. You can unmute yourself. So Arnav, you have a question. I'm just gonna unmute you.
Yeah, so just like Amesa said, all these things that we have to do after going there, we have to spend 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes with each of the representatives. So the thing I've noticed is after you go to them, you just can't directly go and say this is my music. So I've written down some points and I just want Amir sir to confirm them if it's the right way to approach a person.
Okay.
So basically, we'll be going there and introducing ourselves. I'll say what I have done till now, with whom I have worked. I've worked with a couple of bands, so I'll tell them that my USP, my selling point, and what I'm planning about myself in the near future, as well as ask them the last question, ki how they can help me grow more. So is it the right way to approach them?
But like don't ask them right out ki, like how can you help me grow?
Yeah,
ऐसे
of
नहीं
course,
पूछना
in
चाहिए.
a simple
But to
manner.
sort of incorporate that in the
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah,
right? Like you have to be like, Acha, I am here to find this. Like I said, I'm here to find collaborators. I'm here to find a way to like expand my reach. This is how you
yeah.
basically tell them. You tell other people what you're looking for. You don't ask them ki, like, how will you help me? If the other person can help you, if they're convinced with your introduction, right?
Right.
Then or
Mhm.
the 5 minutes of conversation that you've had, then they'll exchange contacts with you, and then later on you can talk to them, reach out to them, and then continue the
That,
conversation
and
later.
also the another thing is that when you are reaching out to somebody, it's not always about how they can help you, but it also kind of, they will also be looking for how you can be beneficial to them also. So that
Yeah.
is exactly why there has to be a good selling point, because it has to be a mutual partnership. You cannot just, it
Exactly.
can look selfish from one end, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Got it. Thank you.
Nice. Cool. Okay, one second. We have uh, someone asked, how does the artist showcase work exactly? Can you just explain that last minute?
Artist showcasing as in?
After the event is done for the day, then at the end of it, you have those performances going on, right?
अच्छा वो performances में तो those are live performances, right? Like there are already artists they've booked,
Yeah, they have
and the
already artists, they
curators
are
have worked.
pre-booked, so you can check them out. Last year, there was Kayan, Yashraj, and a bunch of other people who had performed on various days. First day was sponsored by YouTube Music. Third day was sponsored by Spotify. Anuv Jain was there on third day as well. So a bunch of these artists who are performing there. Um, so that's pretty much the artist showcase. You can choose to stay back and enjoy the performances. That's it's fun to explore other artists. That helps as well. So keep that in mind. Okay. Are there any more questions, anybody? You guys can ask in the chat, or you guys can raise your hands, whatever. Prayag sir, do you have anything else to add to this? Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, no, I think the presentation pretty much covered everything. Um, just, couple of things which, if I may add on top. Talking about the artist performances, one very important thing for you all to remember is the networking officially ends, at 5:30 p.m. or 6 p.m. once the performances start. And I think it's one thing I had noticed even last year, where a lot of people try and network while the performances are going on. So please don't do that. Do not bother anyone while the performances are going on. In fact, I think throughout the day you may also get tired talking to people. So it's a good time to take a breather, go enjoy the performances, have a good time, but do not try to over network, right? Like people do get offended. Do not bother them unnecessarily. Also, the every second person out there could be really important, but you got to pick and choose. It's really impossible to say network with 15 people in 1 hour. The same is going to happen with you all at the Connect Corner. Once you go on the app, you'll see there are too many important people at the Connect Corner throughout the course of the event, which is 3 days. So be realistic. Do not choose more than you can handle. Probably pick like the most important ones, five, six, that you would want to meet no matter what, and stick to it. Anything on top is great, but I mean, even last year, again, out of experience, there were a couple of students from the academy who had like an entire list of 30, 40 people who they wanted to meet. And when you get there, you'll realize all 30, 40 people are around you, and you would not even know where to start. So, be realistic, pick the top five or six. And then once you're done speaking with them, networking with them, you could move on to the next lot of 5 to 6 people. The third thing is the panel discussions, artist talks, AMAs are equally important as networking is. That's also a very good place to start. If you're a student currently learning at LSA, you do not have the demos. Trust me, you can learn a lot more in these 3 days than you would learn in a year. So please try and attend these panel discussions. A lot of valuable insights are shared across the panels. One, the last and the very important thing is, see, all about music is not only about networking with the industry, uh, the industry people. It's also about networking with other artists, right? You guys, I think there are 70 to 80 students, artists coming from academy this year to AAM. The total turnaround at AM is around 2,000, 3,000 people, out of which there are again another 100, could be 100, could be even 1,000 artists coming from outside, right? Outside, as in not a part of the academy. So think about networking with other aspiring artists who could be a collaborator that you could have in your next track. There are tons of aspiring artists, singers, musicians who also come to attend, who also come to network with other people. So do not look at AAM as a platform to only network with a label or an ANR or an agency. But do also try and speak with people, other artists who come and attend. Trust me, you will find some great collaborators out there, and these collaborators are trying to get the same thing, right? So just keep an open mind. If you're coming for the first time, keep an open mind. There's a lot to learn. If this is your second time, you already know All About Music is an artist's paradise, and you will pretty much get everything related to music industry out there. So I think the entire team from LSA will be there. I'm gonna be there. In case if you guys get stuck with anything, in case if there's any issue with the pass, just put a message on the group, and then whoever's there, one of us will be able to help you out.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Let me also see. There's a few more questions. I'll just see to those. Okay. Arjit asks, what is it that the people at the Connect Corner are looking for, or what makes them come to such an event? So, Arjit, basically, Connect Corner pe, you can't know right now exactly what they're looking for. In general, everybody is looking to have a partnership, build things further, find new people that they can work with, and that totally depends on how you pitch and what exactly is they looking for. Like, there are people in the Connect Corner who are part of the legal team as well, handling all the legal side and the music business side, but maybe that's not important to you, and you also are not important to them at the moment. So that is why you have to do your research for it and be like, I want to go for an independent music distributor, maybe someone like Madverse, because that is some, because I have a brief idea of what they are looking for and what is it that they do, and that fits exactly what I want to do. So उस हिसाब से you will have to do your research. It could be sync licensing के लिए भी you have to go there and you have to speak to them whether they have a email or somewhere where you can pitch your demos to them, or is how does the process go about it. You can, whatever you want, you can definitely ask for that, but this is only happen once you do your research, right? uh, Okay, we have another question from Abhijit. Yeah, Abhijit asking, if you have a student pass and I have 4 to 5 demos ready, can I pitch them at the Connect Corner? Yes, you can definitely pitch them. Now, the only difference between artist pass and the one major difference is that artist pass ke liye, the students had the option to submit their demos to AM itself, which the jury will go through. But in this case, right now, the as a student pass, you don't get to submit it, but you can definitely, if in that given 5 to 10 minutes amount of time at the Connect Corner, or while you're just roaming around when Connect Corner slots are not happening and you're roaming around and you meet somebody that you wanted to pitch to, if they are willing to listen to your songs over there, then or you obviously you can definitely make them listen to it using your phone headphones, or you give them a pen drive like we mentioned on the slides. Or the other way is that you definitely tell about yourself, what you're from, where you've been producing, what kind of music do you make, all those things. Like, keep your elevator pitch in mind, like 5 minutes from what you can tell about yourself, and get a contact info, ideally what email for demo pitching, and exactly what it is, your phone number or something like that, that where they will accept your demos, where they will listen to your demos. Yeah, this is super important. So that is one of the main ways to pitch, because right then and there they are busy. It's almost very rare that they listen to it right then and there. So you have to get some kind of contact info from them and then move on to the next person as well.
Yeah.
Right, leave a good impression first.
Yeah, I'd like to add, like Connect Corner में there isn't enough time. So
Yeah.
you don't think of it as like Connect Corner pitch करेंगे. Connect Corner पे generally you will just get to exchange contact information.
Exactly. Connect Corner is very overwhelming. Once you'll see it
Yeah.
on the first slot itself, समझ जाओगे अपने आप. There's too many people on too many tables, and you have, if you're not researched, you won't feel like even being there because it's so overwhelming. So please exchange information and then move ahead.
Yeah.
Right. Will there be upcoming indie labels apart from the information that's officially? Harsh, whoever is going to be there, it's all on Instagram for the next few days also until the day of the event. 7 September से पहले तक check करते रहो. Always check their app, their schedule, everything is out there. अगर कोई ऐसा लेबल है that you really know, independent label, but वो वहां पे नहीं है, कहीं disclose नहीं हुआ है, then they will not be there. It's as simple as that. You can't expect. You can definitely check the AM app में जो attendees वाला section था. There you can see, if you keep scrolling and you search, and if you find somebody from a label who has mentioned it, from one of the delegates, well and good, but that's usually not how it works, because you have delegates, you have artists, and you have students. Delegates are pre-assigned. Artists and students are usually the ones that attend to meet these delegates. That's kind of how it works. So please check the app for it.
And remember, another thing about impressions is like you have to, be in your best form. Like generally people also judge a book by the cover, but that actually happens in real life.
Yes.
Okay? So
Yes,
you
yes.
have to be well mannered. Again, this was included in the presentation, but I cannot, tell you how important it is. Ki like even when you're meeting somebody, whether it's just a fellow artist or whoever it is, right? Be polite and try to absorb as much information as you can. So if as Prayag said, look for collaborators. You'll find a lot of great musicians also. Maybe those musicians already have deals with labels, right? Because you're not the only person looking for all these deals. It could be the other person. The other person might have ideas, but they don't know how to execute it. So you could actually help them. Together you could pitch to labels. So think of networking like doing it with everybody, not just trying to pitch to as many people as you can, but also try
Right.
to enjoy the event, learn more.
Yes. First impression is the last impression. Keep that in mind, and please have a positive attitude at all times. It's very important. But I keep saying this again and again. You won't have a positive attitude if you don't do your research, if you just go there blankly. So, because I've seen it happen. So please,
Guys, also, whoever is going to pitch a demo, just make sure it's a finished idea. Don't pitch your 30-second idea and then tell the A&R it's going to be the biggest record in the world. Just make sure the ideas are finished, at least mixed, if not mastered, but only and only pitch finished ideas. Trust me, this will really help you. And like Vedant just said, the first impression counts, right? So in case if you think you're not prepared right now, it's completely okay not to pitch at all. There's enough that happens at AAM that you can be a part of: panel discussions, workshops, too many things that you can be a part of. You don't need to pitch if you don't have ready demos right now. Do not rush into it. Only and only pitch finish ideas, please.
cool. I think, wait, do we have one more question? Okay, Ashish, yes. While pitching our music to labels at Connect Corner, we should not pitch the same tracks to multiple labels or industry people. Otherwise, if two different labels or some industry people like the same track, it can create a problem for us. Yeah, yes, that is there, but you don't go around. See, that's what Ame sir mentioned. It's very rare. Almost there is no time to just pitch your music right then and there. Especially people with labels, they would rather give you a demo email address, and it totally depends on your priority. Yes, you may have a bunch of labels that you want to be a part of, but what suits your preference the most, you have to create a priority order and then make a decision. Who is it that you're going to choose? Yes, later on after AM, when you do connect with them from the contact email or the demo pitch email that you have received from them, then yes, do not send your music to everybody at the same time. You have to wait it out. You cannot just do that, because it can get obviously problematic, like you're mentioning, if all of them end up accepting it and then you have to reject a few of them, then you get blacklisted. So please do not do that. Right? Main thing is to get a contact info over there, like exchange details, move to the next person. Cool. Does anyone have any more questions?
Hi Vedant. If I am having a conversation at ConnectCon, if somebody and he asked me to show me a demo,
Ah.
okay, if I and then I don't have anything to show him, so how can I counter that question?
So
So
ideally,
he,
in such
so
scenarios,
he,
like first of all, it's very rare that you will expect anybody to ask that. But if they do, you see, best thing is you always keep some music on your phone, like we mentioned, right? Keep it ready on your phone that they can listen to. Have your earphones that if they want, I can make you listen to it right now. You can do that. That is one approach. Definitely, there's no problem in doing that. Other than that, if you have a USB, just give it to them. They will be like, oh, at least he came prepared. He has all of it. I will definitely check it out. Or you can definitely ask, then you can just ask themselves, if you don't have your music on you, you can be like, could you share me an email ID or your phone number or a contact info where I
That's
can
the best.
send you all my
Yeah.
info. That is
Trackable
the best,
links.
because yeah, that would be better. And that's where you send SoundCloud links and everything so they can check you out. That would be better. Cool.
Like if you want to just get out of it now, like if you don't have anything, just tell them just give me your email address, you can share it. You can already keep those links ready to your songs, and if in case somebody asks you for it, just send it to them, email it to them. That's it. पेन ड्राइव वगैरह फोन में सुनाते बैठो, वो सब करने से बेटर है कि like I'm sure they'll be carrying earphones with them. I mean, if
Yeah.
someone wants to listen to your music, I'm sure they'll be carrying headphones or something. So just tell them like I'll email it to you right now, and then they can
That's
listen to
better.
it on their own phones.
That's better. That's better.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's it then. I think that's it for questions. Thank you guys. I'm ending this meeting and I will share the presentation with you guys later. Thank you.